Caitlin Clark, let it be known, she does not like this Stephanie White offense, how these players in the WNBA don't even know where to move or how to move or where to cut, and that leads to a lot of her turnovers. And she also states how much she misses Lisa Bluder. And I think all of us Indiana Fever Caitlin Clark fans prefer if Lisa Bluder was the head coach.
Caitlin Clark's biggest adversary in the WNBA isn't an opposing player. It's the coach on her own sideline, Stephanie White, and her restrictive offensive system. Fans are frustrated, and it's clear why. Clark, a generational talent, is being stifled by a philosophy that seems terrified of her brilliance. This isn't just hurting the Indiana Fever. It's threatening to sabotage the WNBA's brightest star right before our eyes. At Iowa, under coach Lisa Bluder, Clark was a force of nature, unleashed, unpredictable, and unstoppable.
I mean, what's going on here? And I'm sorry, but if Stephanie White's supposed to be this all-world coach, you're not going to show up to a game against the Phoenix Mercury with DeWanna Bonner playing on the other side after what she did to the Indiana Fever franchise, and you show up there and somehow the team is lifeless? Sophie Cunningham coming back to Phoenix and the team is lifeless? That is the coach.
Bluder built an offense that was a masterclass in organized chaos, designed to amplify Clark's supernatural court vision and audacious shot-making. Risky passes weren't mistakes. They were opportunities. Deep threes weren't reckless. They were daggers.
This sums up why I can't stand Stephanie White as a basketball coach for Caitlin Clark. Like, I don't think that Stephanie White is a bad coach. Like, don't get it twisted. She's not a bad coach at all. I just don't think she's the right coach for Caitlin Clark. So let's take a listen to this right here. This was on the podcast with Super.
But I think that's even been something like me and Steph have like always talk about when we go and watch film, and even like that New York game where like I played really, really well. Obviously scored a lot of points. I think I had 9 assists or 10 assists that game.
She was a rebound and assist off a 32-point triple-double. And like, is the only reason her team...
Turnovers were the cost of a breathtaking style that captivated fans and dominated opponents.
My precious Cecil, she was upset. She didn't say nothing, no smiling, walked off, not looking at no cameras. I'm talking about, you can tell it's all on her face. She got it in her mind. But look, I need y'all to understand. That was so embarrassing and pathetic, and the teamwork was not there. But I remember Jordan had got hurt his second year. He didn't come back into playoffs, and that playoff series was legendary. He scored 63 points in one game, but he still lost.
Bluder's philosophy was simple. You don't tame a phenomenon like Clark, you empower her. Contrast that with the Indiana Fever under Stephanie White. Clark's Ferrari of a game is now stuck in a 15-mph school zone, complete with speed bumps and a nervous coach ready to slam the brakes. White's system prioritizes caution over creativity, punishing Clark's instincts rather than harnessing them.
The Stephanie White offense compared to what she was doing at Iowa when she took over the world. Let's take a look.
At the college, like it was very similar. Like all I would attack, like we're known to have like 5 shooters on the floor at all time. Like we played with really good floor spacing, and at Iowa it was the same way. Like 4 people were on the floor that could shoot at the same time. Then obviously we usually played with a true post, but they rarely missed too. Like Mon never missed. Like Hannah Stolke was tremendous when I was there too, and even our backup post players. Like I always think about like how Coach Bluder like ran practices and things, and like I'm very fortunate looking back and like now going to like watch other colleges' practices and things like that. Like she really like was so intentional about like making sure
For a player whose genius thrives on improvisation, this is kryptonite. Instead of redefining the game, Clark is being asked to color inside the lines, betraying the philosophy that made her a star. This tension boiled over in a pivotal game against the New York Liberty.
Of aggressive play.
How in the world did you hire this coach? Because she have ties to Indiana. What does that mean? She be icing her players. So did y'all, if y'all watched the game, y'all saw that she set Sophie.
Clark was electric, nearly achieving a historic triple-double while single-handedly keeping the Fever in contention. Then, in the fourth quarter, after 2 minor turnovers, blips in an otherwise dominant performance, White benched her.
In the post-game press conference, Caitlin Clark Stephanie White made sure to give out about Caitlin Clark not passing the ball to Daggers. Like, we've seen Damiris Dantas play. She can't shoot. Why would Caitlin Clark pass the ball on an all-time heater to Dantas?
It's just this last game this year. I started the fourth
The move
quarter
stunned
off,
fans
like,
and crushed the team's momentum. It felt like a public punishment, sending a clear message.
This is like a learning
Clark's
moment.
brilliance
Like,
is conditional, and her leash is short.
Maybe it could have been there. Like, maybe you could have thrown a little bit better pass. Maybe they could have caught it. But, like, do we need that in the...
Lisa Bluder always made sure people knew what they were going to do, aka she made sure people knew their role. Everybody knew their role, and that is the problem with the Indiana Fever and the bullcrap that Caitlin Clark deals with now. We got Natasha Howard coming in talking about she wanted to win MVP. Red flag. We got Caitlin Clark, and you're talking about joining this team and winning MVP. She didn't know her role. Didn't know her role.
A system allergic to risk.
That is the difference. We got a bunch of people on this team that do not know and understand their role.
Clark herself has hinted at this frustration. In a podcast with Sue Bird, she spoke about film sessions with White, referencing the Liberty game where she scored heavily and racked up assists but was pulled for minor errors. It's a learning moment, White told her, emphasizing safer passes over bold plays. But Clark's game isn't built on safety. It's built on pushing boundaries. White's offense, with its rigid sets and deliberate pace, feels like a relic, lacking the spontaneity that defines modern basketball. It's a system that treats improvisation as a crime, leaving Clark's teammates unsure of their roles and hesitant to move. This isn't just a Caitlin Clark problem, it's a WNBA problem. Clark has brought unprecedented attention to the league, filling arenas and driving record-breaking viewership. Yet White's conservative coaching threatens to squander this opportunity. The WNBA faces a choice: cling to cautious, forgettable basketball, or embrace the thrilling chaos that Clark delivers. You can't market a player as a revolutionary on billboards and then force her to play like a role player on the court. The hypocrisy is glaring. The Fever's roster compounds the issue. Players like Natasha Howard, who reportedly joined with MVP aspirations, seem unaware of their roles, creating a disjointed team dynamic. At Iowa, Bluder ensured every player knew their job. Get open, be ready, and trust Clark's vision. The Fever lacked that clarity, leading to clogged lanes, mistimed cuts, and a culture of hesitation. When Clark takes risks and a play goes awry, she's blamed for recklessness, trapped in a self-fulfilling prophecy created by a coaching staff that fosters uncertainty. This is franchise malpractice. The Caitlin Clark effect, sold-out games, soaring merchandise sales, and global buzz, is built on her swagger, her logo threes, and her no-look passes. By coaching out her fearlessness, the Fever are dismantling the very product they're selling. You can see the joy draining from Clark's game, replaced by frustration and caution. A confident phenom is being turned into a timid player, and the WNBA risks losing the spark that could define its future. The league stands at a crossroads. Will it adapt to embrace Clark's brilliance, or will it cling to outdated philosophies that prioritize control over creativity? If the Fever continue to clip her wings, they won't just lose games, they'll lose the player who could transform the WNBA. The question is whether they'll realize it before it's too late.